Welcome you all in the illumination and electrification of building video lecture session. In the last video, we will say about general requirements, factory lighting, industrial light fittings, type of lamps, maintenance, lighting scheme for factories or characteristic of factory lighting, street lighting, light sources for street lighting scheme and its design, objective of street lighting, and location of lamps and their advantages. These are points are referred for the chapter number 5. The name is lighting for outdoor and special applications. In this session, we are going to see the lighting scheme for railway platform, lighting for advertisement or hoardings, and flood lightings, its meaning, purposes, and specific requirements. So, now we start with the railway platform lighting. Generally, in India, there are two types of railway platforms or railway stations. One is small railway station and second one is big railway station. It is also known as a junction. So, for the small railway station, it having only two platforms and which are up and down train stoppages for the usage purpose. Generally, this station have open to sky platforms. That is, there is no any running shades on the platforms. So it is open to sky, and lighting system is provided, which is very simple. For the lighting system, a tubular steel poles support lighting luminaries are provided. The lamps may be used over the steel poles are fluorescent tube or high pressure mercury vapor lamp or low pressure sodium vapor lamps. The distance between these two poles are 10 meter. The poles have bracket and bent towards the platform surface with the shade which diverts the light towards the platform. At the starting and terminal poles, the lamps are more bright. Therefore, large wattage lamps are used at the starting of platform and at the terminal poles. The light is concentrated towards the platform and also diverted on the rails from both sides of the platform poles. At the start and end of the platform, heighted pole or floodlights, which are including metal halide or halogen lamp, with projector directed away from the platform towards the rail lines are provided. Generally, small railway stations which are used for the passenger as well as goods loading and unloading purposes nearby city and nearby villages. So they are having only two rails which are used for the passing the trains, which are also called as up and down train stoppages. So let us look for the big railway station, nothing but junctions. A big railway stations have number of platforms for up and down trains. Here, consider up and down means the trains are arrival and the trains are for the departure purpose. So these two words up and down which are used for the respectively terms. In these stations or big stations having many number of platforms, the similar arrangement is provided with fluorescent lamps. The platforms are covered with rain shades and which are not open to sky. Hence, lamps are fitted suitably under this shade. If two platforms are common and rails are on both sides, then high wattage twin tubes may be provided centrally to illuminate both the platforms. On platform generally, restaurants, wash basins, newspaper stalls, reservation chart display, announcing speaker arrangements are provided. For these facilities, a separate lighting system is provided with level of illumination is 100 to 200 lux. Reservation display and notice boards are provided with a special system to divert the light towards the notice paper only and not on the side of viewers. Beyond the platforms, flood lighting arrangement is provided on the heighted towers for illuminating railway yards. दोन रेल्वे स्टेशनचे टाईप्स आपण बघतोय, स्मॉल आणि बिग. स्मॉलमध्ये दोन प्लॅटफॉर्म्स असतील आणि त्या दोन्ही प्लॅटफॉर्मच्या मध्ये दोन अप अँड डाऊनसाठीच्या ट्रेन्स, येणाऱ्या आणि जाणाऱ्यांसाठीच्या दोन रेल्स असतील. आणि याच्यासाठी मग सिम्पल ट्यूबलर पोल तिथे यूज केला आहे, ज्याच्यामधलं अंतर असेल 10 मीटर, ज्याच्यावरती फ्लुरोसंट लॅम्प आणि लो प्रेशर सोडियम अँड मर्क्युरी वेपर लॅम्पसुद्धा लावलेले असतील. बिग रेल्वे स्टेशन म्हणजेच जंक्शन एखादं असेल, एखादी मोठी सिटी असेल, त्या ठिकाणी जंक्शन्स असतील, ज्याच्यातून ज्या काही रेल्वे मार्गक्रमण करणार असतील त्या वेगवेगळ्या दिशेला जाण्यासाठीच्या पॉईंटला जंक्शन असं म्हणलं आहे. स्मॉल रेल्वे स्टेशन ही फक्त एका रूटवरचंच जे काही स्टॉपेज असेल त्याला स्मॉल रेल्वे स्टेशन असं म्हणलं आहे. आणि जंक्शन म्हणजे 1, 2 ते 3पेक्षा जर जास्त गावं असतील वेगवेगळ्या दिशेला असणारे, अशा ठिकाणी मग नंबर ऑफ प्लॅटफॉर्मची सुद्धा संख्या वाढते. आणि मग त्या प्लॅटफॉर्मच्या जर दोन्ही साईडलाच जर रेल्वेज लाईन्स असतील किंवा रेल्स असतील तर मग तो प्लॅटफॉर्म ट्विन ट्यूब्स अपोजिट डिरेक्शनला लावलेले असतात आणि ज्याच्याकडून त्या दोन्ही प्लॅटफॉर्मवरती इल्युमिनेशन हे केलं जाते. जनरली असे शेड्स किंवा असे जे जंक्शन्स आहेत हे ओपन टू स्काय नसून रेनशेड त्याच्यावरती म्हणजे पत्र्याचं शेड असं आपण त्याला म्हणू शकतो, जे यूज केलं जाते, जे रेनी सीझनमध्ये सुद्धा तो जंक्शन किंवा तो प्लॅटफॉर्म हा तिथे जे काय मुवमेंट असणार आहे त्या सगळ्या व्यवस्थित पारपणे पडतील. अशासाठी मग इथे न्यूजपेपर स्टॉल असणार आहेत, वॉश बेसिन असेल, रेस्टॉरंट्स असतील, फ्रूट स्टॉल असतील. आणखीन रेल्वेच्या संदर्भातले तिकीट कलेक्शन्स किंवा तिकीट डिस्ट्रीब्युशन ऑफिस तिथं असेल, रिझर्वेशन चार्ट जे काय असणार आहे तो डिस्प्ले करण्याचा एरिया असेल, परत अनाऊन्सिंग करण्यासाठी जे काही स्पीकर अरेंजमेंट आहेत ते सुद्धा तिथे लावलेले असतील. आणि ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टी इथे असताना प्रवाशांना बसण्यासाठीच्या वेटिंग्स तिथे बेंचेस वगैरे सगळ्या असतील. अशा एकंदरीत ह्या कन्फिगरेशनसाठी मग ह्या लायटिंगच्या इल्युमिनेशनची आपल्याला गरज आहे. इल्युमिनेशन स्कीम आपल्याला असं प्रोव्हाइड करणं गरजेचं आहे. आणि यासाठी मग परत त्याचं लेवल ऑफ इल्युमिनेशन असेल 100 to 200 लक्स. आणि मग याच्यासाठी मग फ्लुरोसंट ट्विन ट्यूब्स ह्या सगळ्या यूज केल्या जातील की जेणेकरून ज्या काही तिथल्या गोष्टी चाललेल्या आहेत, म्हणजे पॅसेंजर लोडिंग असेल, अपलोडिंग असेल किंवा वेटिंगसाठी जे काही प्रवासी बसले असतील, न्यूजपेपर स्टॉल असेल किंवा इतर कुठल्या कारणांसाठी ज्या गोष्टी तिथं त्या प्लेनवरती, त्या वर्किंग प्लेनवरती जे काही व्हायला लागलेत मुवमेंट्स, त्या इझिली कन्व्हिनियंट असाव्यात, ह्याच्यासाठी आपल्याला लाईट इल्युमिनेशन आपल्याला करणं गरजेचं आहे. दोन्ही प्लॅटफॉर्मच्या एंडला जे काही तिथून रेल्स असणार आहेत किंवा रेल्वे यार्ड्स असणार आहेत तिथे हायटेड टॉवरवरती फ्लड लाईट्स या बसवलेल्या असतात. आणि अशा पद्धतीनं मग रेल्वे प्लॅटफॉर्म्सचं इल्युमिनेशन किंवा आपल्याला डिझाईन करणं हे महत्त्वाचं आहे. नेक्स्ट, लाइटिंग फॉर ॲडव्हर्टाइजमेंट और होर्डिंग्स. इथे आपल्याला टर्म बघायला लागेल. ॲडव्हर्टाइजमेंटसाठी जे काही लायटिंगचा स्कीमचा यूज केला आहे तो. दुसरं होर्डिंग्स. हे होर्डिंग्स म्हणजे असणार आहेत मेन सिटी असेल किंवा हायवे असेल, ह्या हायवेच्या साईडला किंवा रस्त्याच्या कडेला खूप मोठे पोस्टर्स वगैरे जर यूज केले असतील तर त्या गोष्टींना आणि ते इल्युमिनेशनला होर्डिंग्स असं म्हणतात. So let us start with the lighting for advertisement. For the lighting for advertisement, here we use neon sign tubes. The length for the tube is available in the market are 9 meter. It can be bent to any shape, so that can, by using this shape we can convert this tube into letters. Adding different substances with neon gas, different colors are obtained, and these colors are nothing but orange, yellow, red, green, blue, etc. The diameter of tube which are available in the market are 10 millimeter, 15 millimeter, 20 millimeter, 30 millimeter. Carrying currents according to the diameter of tube: 25 ampere milliampere, 30 milliampere, 60 milliampere, and 150 milliampere respectively, with that the diameter of tube. The operating voltage for the tube are 300 to 1000 volts per meter. Starting voltage for the neon sign tube is 1.5 times of normal voltage. The source required for this tube is step-up transformer with high reactance. Connection between letters for that nickel wire are used, which are covered with glass tubing to avoid short circuits. Hence, this configuration or this circuit resultant is low power factor. So to compensate this, we have to connect a capacitors across this. So this is a typical neon tube circuit diagram which are already be seen in the second chapter. For the neon tube circuit, we are using accessories like glass tube, filling gas in the tube, porcelain thimble which are used to give the electrical connections to the electrode of neon tubes and to isolate the electrical energy from the rest of body part. Next one is transformer. Again, to compensation, capacitors are used, capacitors are required, high value resistors is required, bare wire in the tube. These are the accessories which are used for the neon tube circuit. Here, between these two bells or bell wire, a neon tube is used for the illumination purpose. Transformer with high leakage reactance are used. For the transformer, AC supply is used. Fireman switch and locked main switch are used. The circuit is very simple. So that we can by referring this circuit, we can connect any type, any shape or any neon sign tube across these two bell glass porcelain thimbles. Depending upon the advertisement and their placings on the buildings or structure. Different wooden or metal frames are used. These metal frames are used to cover all the circuitry along with the neon sign tube. Take a look for the a neon tube circuit with the letters. So this is how we can use the neon sign tube in the form of letter or in the form of any message. Now this neon tube is used for advertisement. So this is how the advertisement boards are displayed over the shop. For the displaying the messages or addresses, the neon tube site are used. Then similarly, hoardings are used for the advertisement purpose. Here, a metal halide lamps or the projector lamps are projected towards the hoardings or this poster, so that can the peoples or human beings are easily seen this advertisement by the sideways. Now flood lighting, it means that flood lighting, flooding the large surfaces with light from powerful projectors and eliminating all the shadows on the surface illuminated. Means illuminate a large surface with a uniform illumination for the aesthetic purpose. For that reason, the floodlights are used. Purposes of floodlights, it means application of floodlight. For the aesthetic floodlighting, some of the areas which are used floodlights, these areas such as public places, ancient buildings, monuments, religious places, festival occasions, gardens, forts. So that can this kind of areas or places are highlighted at the night and which are take attentions from the public for the aesthetic purpose. It is also improves the aesthetic looking of that premises. Second one, purpose of floodlights are industrial and commercial floodlighting. In that, illumination floodlighting of sports stadiums, railway yards, parking area, at construction site, quarries, industrial campus, commercial important buildings. At these areas, nothing but the industrial areas, the floodlights are used. The next one is advertising. For the advertising, advertise the boards, showcases, attention seeking item displays, commercial holdings, publicity posters or exhibitions. At these areas, for the advertisement purpose, floodlights are used. So take a look how the floodlights are used along with the reflecting surfaces. A particular type of reflectors and its housing used for concentrating the light into a narrow beam is known as floodlight projector. Now, the aesthetic flood lighting in the public places. Here, on the pole, a floodlight arrangement are there, and therefore the public places in the wide area are illuminated for the public or peoples. Take a look for the ancient building, which is very look beautiful at the night by using the flood lighting arrangements. In the garden, floodlights are used for the illumination purpose. Next is for the monuments. In India, there are lots of monuments are there. To illuminate these monuments, the floodlights are also used. So here in India, there are many monuments are there. These monuments are located at Gujarat. So here from the bottom, the floodlights are projected towards this monument, and which are improves the aesthetic look of that area. Next, on the festival occasions, the floodlights are used over the premises. The next one is aesthetic floodlightings are used on the religious places. Take a look for the fort which are illuminated by the floodlights. Next, in the railway yards, also floodlights are used. In the stadium, for the daylight effect, the floodlights are used. In the stadium, number of floodlights are used. The quantity of the lights are very large because from the stadium the broadcasting is going on while the games are start to play. For that clarity or visibility, number of floodlights are required more. In the parking yard, also floodlights are used for the convenience of motor vehicles. And the construction site, a big construction sites are running on night time also. To facilitate all the type of constructive work, there are floodlights are required. Next core is where this kind of work is going to be continued at night. The floodlights are required. Again, in the industrial campus at the night, the floodlights are used to illuminate the industrial campus. The next one is floodlighting, were used for the commercial building illumination of commercial buildings. The floodlights are used for the publicity posters for the attention seeking of to the public. Next one is in the exhibition the floodlights are used. And at the fuel stations such as petrol pump etc. or gas stations, the floodlights are used. Next one is dredging, that is extraction from the water sources. the floodlights are required to illuminate the surfaces. And last one is shipyard, where the maintenance and the boarding and loading and uploading of the ship where that happens is called a shipyard. So in that site or in that area the floodlights are used. This picture shows the top view of the ship. The next chart shows the illumination level for flood lighting. For the landscapes, 50 to 150 lux level is required. For the construction work, 40 to 60 lux level is required. For the excavation work, 10 to 20 lux levels are required. At the parking, 5 to 10 lux level are sufficient. In general campus lighting for observation or watching, 2 to 5 level of lux illumination is required. Or next one is quarries, 20 to 25 lux level are sufficient. Decorative and specular effects, 100 to 200 lux level illuminations are required. Signboards advertising, for that purpose 100 to 300 level of lux is required. For the water tanks, 80 to 120 lux levels are required. In the railway yards, 1 to 10 lux level are sufficient. For the dredging, 40 to 60 lux level illuminations are sufficient. Docks and loading platforms, it's called also as a dockyard, that is 20 to 30 lux level. At the petrol pumps, 20 to 150 lux levels are sufficient. In the bus depot, 20 to 50 lux levels. In the bus depot, 20 to 50 lux levels are required. In the airport apron, 100 to 200 lux level are sufficient. In the shipyard, 40 to 50 lux levels are sufficient. The stadium, 100 to 300 lux levels are sufficient. In the badminton court, 200 to 300 lux levels are sufficient. In the tennis court, 150 to 300 lux level are sufficient. For the football and hockey ground, 100 to 200 lux level are sufficient. And for the indoor games, 200 to 300 lux levels are sufficient. The specific requirements of flood lightings are: the brightness of floodlight should be sufficient to stand out in contrast with surroundings. The illumination be sufficiently uniform at all over the working plane. The lighting should not cause reflected glare at the normal viewing position, so that the people or observers can see the images or can see the premises without any obstacles or without any pain harmful on the eye or strain on the eye. The lighting equipment should not prove to be obstacle. Reflecting surfaces are used for the flood lighting. Depending upon the reflecting surfaces, the illuminations are illuminate the premises. The material and shape of the reflecting surface of projector is most important. The reflecting surface is made up of silver glass, chromium plate, stainless steel. For permanent installation, use of cast metal cases is made to achieve robustness and protection against weather, rain, sunlight condition. For temporary installation, use of sheet metal casing is made. So this is a flood lighting arrangement which is used to improve the aesthetic look of premises. So today we stop over here. Thank you.